no Guatemala. This a GTA, we don't fear. Nobody give it to no Guatemala. This a me, my name is Pupa. Belize me come from the Belize City area. 110% Belize and proud of it. Don't tell me about maritime area. Long time ago agreement by the slave master. Talking about the help and the Belize and dollar because patriots. All people who love them country bad, love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. Country bad, love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. This a we da fear. Nobody give it to no Guatemala. This a we da fear. Nobody give it to no Guatemala. This a me, my name is Pupa. But there's nothing that I wouldn't do.
Sweet Southside Belize City. Sunday morning. News review time, the only news review talk show in Belize. Our slogan is making sense of the news. I'm the producer and host, Sister YaYa, Marin Coleman. We have our co-host, Brother Mutota, revolutionary from Trinidad and Tobago. And we have our guest, no stranger to Sunday Review, Brother Pierre LaBossiere, Haitian activist and co-founder of Haiti Action Committee. Good morning, brothers.
Good morning, my sister. A pleasure to be on the show.
Sister YaYa, good morning to our listening audience. It's once again a pleasure to be on Sunday Review. And good morning to Brother Pierre LaBossiere of the Haiti Action Committee.
And a good morning to you, my brother, and to the listening audience as well. Thank you very much, Sister YaYa, for having me.
Give thanks. We are simulcasting on Crumb Radio, live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, XTV Belize. And this is where we make sense of the news. And so we have Brother Pierre, who has been a Haitian activist for many decades. And we know that the sufferation, oppression of our Haitian sisters and brothers has been nonstop since the revolution. And Brother Pierre was reminding us it's been 235 years, Brother Pierre?
Yes,
since
that's
the Haitian
correct.
Revolution?
That's correct. And before I start, I'd forgotten to say my thanks to people in Belize, to my sisters and brothers for their solidarity with the people of Haiti, to Crumb Radio, for always being there with us, and to all of you, as I mentioned earlier. Yes, it's been 235 years since the official start of the Haitian Revolution. And it started with a political religious ceremony where Bookman Doty, originally an enslaved African from Jamaica, who was sold into what became Haiti, Saint-Domingue, the colony, and a sister, Cecile Fatima, a black woman who was also enslaved, and who organized and co-led this meeting of leaders. You had among them Maroons, people who were Maroon, but also people from the plantations who were enslaved on the plantation who came together. And this was on the night of August 14th. And they came together to determine their future. The program was one of to break their chains and to kill off all the plantation owners and take over the land because it was untold suffering, family separation, the brutality of the kidnapping itself on the African continent. And at the time, close to 2/3 of the enslaved Africans had actually been born in Africa and lived through the kidnapping and the Middle Passage and the horrors and the brutality of slavery. So they wanted to put an end to it and declare themselves to break their chains and then later on move forward to independence. So we honor Brother Bookman and the co-leadership of Sister Cecile Fatima, and who led that movement. And so that happened on August 14th. The date that the uprising actually started taking place was a week later. So we are talking the night of August 21st, August 22nd. That's when all the plantations at once, they set fire to all the plantations, all at once, not just one, but several all together. And there was a general uprising. This happened in the north of the country. And that started a 13-year period, 12-year period, really, 12 to 13-year period during which time ups and downs in the struggle, some retreats, advances, and later on, which led to Haiti declaring its independence officially on January 1st, which was the start of the year, January 1st, 1804. But actually, the actual victory over the troops of Napoleon took place on November 18th, 1802. And during that time, they also fought the British and the Spanish, because at that time, the British saw an opportunity to offer freedom and to take over the colony from the French, because it was a very prosperous colony, the most prosperous in terms of what it was producing for France, more prosperous than the 13 colonies of what is called today the United States, more prosperous in terms of income generating. Not that our foremothers and forefathers were benefiting from it. No, all they were getting was the lash, the whips, the tortures, the rapes of their wives, their sisters, their aunts, their of the women, and the brutality, the mutilation, untold atrocities. And several of the Haitians have written about it. And I'm talking about back then. You see, there were people who survived that period who wrote, but their writings is in French. And so the other day I was reading through some of that, and it's just harrowing. And these people were actually eyewitnesses and survivors of this. So I'll stop right there, and that's what we are commemorating this weekend.
Big thanks, Brother Pierre. Brother Akko, why is it still relevant in 2026 for us to go back and remember what happened in Haiti 235 years ago? What does it have to do with how we live today?
Well, everything. It is the first defeat of imperialism in the hemisphere. One of the things that I'm trying to remember when I read it. It's a recent document I was looking at, in which the writer was critical of Marx, for not giving a certain kind of importance to the Haitian Revolution. It's Marx or Lenin, I think it was Lenin, to the Haitian Revolution, and the importance of that in terms of the transformation of capitalism. So when you look at leftist writings, you would see the writings of, Marx and Lenin, and they will speak about the Lenin in particular, the Russian Revolution and others. But you never hear the Haitian Revolution being spoken of in the same, right? You hear about the French Revolution. And in so many ways, the Haitian Revolution, in my opinion, was more important in terms of world revolution than even the Russian Revolution. See? Because you look at where Haiti was coming from, but these were enslaved workers. You see what I'm saying? So if the revolution, the Russian Revolution, is about the working class, well, you're talking about the Haitian Revolution as a precursor. I mean, that was extremely important. And there's two little writings in terms of what I'm from leftist writers, who call themselves Marxist Leninists, and not writing enough and putting in a central position the importance of the Haitian Revolution. So from that point of view, it's very important as part of the history of world revolution, right? Yes, they talk about it. James has written and others, but not, in my view, as central as it is, as it should be, to the world revolution, right? And working class revolution. But before, I want to go back a bit, because I want to talk about I wanted to answer your question, but I want to go back to the Coleman prayer. It was a very important thing. I read it last week, and I want to read it again to get Brother Pierre's response. Coleman was a gathering of our ancestors who decided to attack the plantation. And the prayers is attributed to Bookman, who some people call Dotty Bookman or Bookman Dotty, right? But Bookman. And the prayer begins, and I want Brother Pierre's response because this is very important because they were going to, wreak havoc on their masters, but they first, before they went, they pay homage to the divine and to the ancestors. So let me just read the prayer again so that people get an understanding of what it is. And it begins, it was August 14, 1791. And the prayer begins with, the God who created the earth, who created the sun that gives us light, the God who holds up the ocean, who makes the thunder roar, our God who has ears to hear, you are hidden in the clouds, who watch us from where you are. You see all that the white has made us suffer. The white man's God asks him to commit crimes, but the God within us wants us to do good. Our God who is so good, so just, he orders us to avenge our wrongs. It is he who will direct our arms and bring us the victory. It is he who will assist us. We should all throw away the image of the white man's God, who is so pitiless. Listen to the voice of liberty that sings in our hearts. So I wanted Brother Pierre's response because I think this is a powerful statement. And it's a prayer, but it's a speech at the same time and a call to arms, right, on August 14, 1791. So I wanted Brother Pierre's response and from to that and to let us know how that historical facts, how does it resonate today in contemporary Haitian life?
Yes, thank you so much for reading that prayer. It's very powerful. And actually, I have to quote a pastor in Oakland, California, Reverend Dr. Lorenzo Carlisle, who I was at a conversation with him about liberation theology. And he told me, well, when did that start, Pierre? He was quizzing me. And I said, well, 68, when they had this meeting of the Catholic clergy in Puebla and what have you, the Pope. He said, wrong. He said, Bookman's prayer, that's liberation theology. And I had to think about it. And I said, you're right. That's correct. But you see, there is this aspect of it. It's mental, what Bookman was talking about was mental decolonization, what we call that today. So in order for that project to be accomplished, for us to regain, for our foremothers and forefathers to regain their freedom and claim and take hold of their humanity and implant that on this land and to free the land, they had to reject that cultural domination that many of them were being subjected to, that brainwashing, that many of them were being forced to accept the images of the white man of European superiority, those images that negated their African spirituality and their so they had to reject that and they had to cleanse themselves. And that's why YaYa, that ceremony, that coming together, that meeting, that had such massive importance. And to this day, even though in official Haitian history, in official Haitian observance, it is not a holiday. That may have changed because people are asserting themselves and taking this holiday, but it's not really what I grew up with. It was completely ignored. You only read about it as a passing thing in the history books. But right now, more and more people are claiming it and seeing how important it is. And if Haiti has to rise as a nation, we need to really look at Bookman's prayer and really make it part of our flesh. And but I have to say this, and I'll stop right there, that the most Haitians who have not been as brainwashed by going through the regular school system, this is never forgotten among the Haitians they call the illiterate, the marginalized. that great majority of marginalized of our sisters and brothers, that remains as part of the very fiber of Haitian society. And if Haiti survives today, it's because of that, not only the prayer, but the tradition, our spirituality and the tradition, and what this means for us.
Big respect. I'm going to remember this lesson that's where liberation theology started. That was very insightful of that priest or minister, whoever he was.
Yes.
And then it also
Reverend
brings home the
Carlyle.
point. What was his name?
Reverend Lorenzo Carlyle.
Thank you, Reverend Lorenzo Carlyle. And it also brings the point of oftentimes we, even though, for example, in the Christian faith, people would pray. I don't know how much people believe in what they're saying to give them the strength to do what they need to do. So when our African foreparents, ancestors and ancestors 235 years ago gathered in the forest or near the forest, they were seeking spiritual fortitude. And the simplicity of their words was so powerful. Like, what kind of creator do you have that would encourage you to do this to other human beings? That cannot be the creator we serve. Because the creator we serve teaches us. And they were clear, the creator in us. It wasn't the creator in the sky, the creator in us. And we go read that poem over and that prayer over and over again. Tells us to seek justice for wrong that is being done. And I mean, that is, we really need, like Brother Pierre said, and it's interesting. Brother Akka read that prayer last week, and I honestly was not thinking of the August 14th and 15th date. And last Sunday would have been August 17th. So the timing of Brother Akka reading that prayer last week and reading it this week, for me, is a strong spiritual message or presence in the work that we're doing as it relates to African people, African descendants in the Caribbean. We have another 14 minutes. Brother Pierre, Brother Akko, is there anything you'd like to share in this segment of the conversation to go back to the importance of, really, we owe freedom to Haiti? When we talk about reparations, when Christopher Columbus went to that island, the Taino people call it Haiti. And so we owe it to the indigenous people because they were enslaved before the African people were enslaved. So when we're talking about African reparations, we need to have a conversation about indigenous people. And remember, this particular landmass is the beginning in this hemisphere of imperialism. Brother Pierre, Brother Akko, anything you want to add?
If I may jump in real quick, Brother Akko, it's to praise you and what you said earlier about our Marxist-Leninist comrades, brothers and sisters who have been, who ignore the Haitian Revolution. And again, that's part of, there needs to be this mental decolonization work that takes place so that they can see the historical, the value and put in its rightful place the struggles of our foremothers and forefathers. And one thing I have to say is when they said that, when I believe it was attributed to Karl Marx, that statement that you have nothing to lose but your chains, actually it was Africans who were in chains and they broke it. And also workers of the world unite. Well, our African foremothers and forefathers in Haiti, when they became victorious, they opened their arms, made a call to Africans, to people in chains anywhere, but particularly focusing on the indigenous people and people of African descent to come to Haiti. Haiti will not turn them over back to the plantation owners, to their enslavers, but Haiti will welcome them. They will become Haitian citizens and have their freedoms guaranteed. And Haiti would go to war to defend their freedom. And Haiti did send troops to help Simon Bolivar to fight not only against Spanish colonialism, but to abolish slavery everywhere in the Americas. You see, so that was very clear. And so for people who say that they practice Marxist-Leninism to marginalize Haiti, and we see that to today. And let me say a brief thing. I have a friend, a very dear friend, a good comrade, Dave Welsh, who was a member, he's still a member of the San Francisco Labor Council. He was a member of it. In um, when was that? In 2004, the 200th anniversary of the Haitian Revolution, Dave put in the San Francisco Labor Council a resolution to honor the Haitian Revolution as a major working class victory and that unions should celebrate. We had some opposition. He had some opposition to this, but it passed overwhelmingly in the end. But we wanted also, there was a program that devoted to labor that we wanted that program to cover this, right? But they wouldn't. They didn't want to cover it. And so that shows how, even among people who call themselves progressives, how the racism, how there needs to be work of mental decolonization in the minds of not only of these folks as well, because they have a complete misreading of it and they look at us. They pretty much are brainwashed to look at African people as being subhumans, and we cannot be pioneers or pathfinders or guiding lights, you know. So thank you so much for that, brother.
Thanks, Brother Pierre. Brother Akko?
Yeah, but that is part of the problem in that the contradiction with Marx in particular, from what I was reading, and I'm trying to remember who sent it to me, that they never saw Africans as an important part of history. You know, and so the history of the working class is essentially the history of European workers. You know, it reminds me very much of the what I call the bunk that Francis Fukuyama spoke about in this book, The End of History. You know, and I remember a relative of mine who's an academic showed me the book, and it was the greatest book. And I'm like, this is just nonsense. History doesn't end. You know, history has no end because because the socialist world collapsed. You know, it doesn't mean that history has ended. So these these processes that you mentioned of decolonization has to occur, right? Especially in academia, and even in those who are supposedly progressives, you know. And this is one of my criticisms of even the reparations movement in the Caribbean, in that I am hearing a lot of debate about reparations, but the test case to me is Haiti, you know, where the Haitians had to pay, you know, the French, and that debt was just, you know, recently completed. So to me, that should have been a central argument in the reparations debate, and that is something that I'm not hearing. So, you know, we really have to do what I consider deconstructing theory, practice deconstructing theory, because we are creating words. You know, like, you know, I'm hearing people using this word coloniality every time I turn around. Coloniality and post-colonial. So it almost as if we are changing the language of our struggle, you know. And I have always said, the term post-colonial, I don't use it. We are neo-colonial states to describe Kwame Nkrumah's word. It's a new form of colonization, not just in terms of rhetoric and interpreting history, you know, but in terms of even the academia, you know. So we have to understand we are neo-colonial states. We're in a neo-colonial phase, right? And as Kwame Nkrumah said, it is the highest stage of imperialism. Okay? And that is the theory or the thesis that I live by, Kwame Nkrumah's statement on that. And it goes into academia, into our political rhetoric, and how we interpret the world. And, you know, the Haitian Revolution is never given the same status as either the French Revolution or the Russian Revolution. And in my opinion, given what Haiti was up against, given the condition of the people who who made the revolution, to me, the Haitian Revolution is even more important than the Russian Revolution, which was purely which impacted Europe, but the Haitian Revolution was more global in terms of its impact, one against imperialism, and as a rallying cry, not only for people of African descent, because not only did the Haitian revolutionaries give support in different ways to Bolivar, they gave him arms. They gave Bolivar arms and resources to wage the war against the Spaniards. And also the Haitian constitution guaranteed freedom to any enslaved anywhere in the world. I mean, that was very advanced. Now you're hearing people don't want Haiti in different parts of the Caribbean. When Haiti opened its doors to anyone who was oppressed anywhere in the world. And so that was the kind of advanced thinking that the Haitian revolutionaries, posited. And these things are not discussed and mentioned in the way that it should be. In fact, recently, I think it was last week, the guest we had said that just before C.L.R. James passed, one of the statements he made was that if he had to rewrite, or the regret he had about the Black Jacobin, is that he did not emphasize the role of voodoo enough in the revolution, which was the point Brother Pierre made, that it was more, voodoo was part of the theological construct, theological ideological construct that guided, right, the spirituality of the people in terms of justifying before God and before man the need to fight. You see what I'm saying? It was a justification. It was a rationale. This is high intellectual thinking. This is high intellectual thinking, that you justify the material conditions, but you also justify the metaphysical conditions, for what you have to do. And this is why, to answer your question, to say that is what we have to learn today, right? That there's a material and a metaphysical world. At that point, the Haitians understood this and fused the two worlds in terms of advancing the struggle. And that is
Let me ask this: was Marx or Lenin ever held accountable for what could be perceived as their racist lens? That they never centered African people. Like, how could they be such intellectuals and focus on working class people, but primarily European working class people and not African descendants?
Well, no, Europe in a general sense has not been held. No, if you read Ames here, one of the things Ames here said in Discourse on Colonialism, which is so valid up to today, he said that Europeans did not dislike Hitler because of what Hitler did. He said they disliked Hitler because of what Hitler did to Europeans. You see, because they were doing that to other people around the world. These brutal, oppressive methods, but Hitler turned it on them. And that is their problem with Hitler. Now, when you look at what they are doing today, look what they did in Libya, look what they're doing in Haiti. You see? So it's the same, look what they're doing in Venezuela right now.
Palestine.
Palestine. So Marx and the others came from that colonialism. While they were different in terms of challenging capitalism and imperialism, and we must give them credit for that. They were weak in certain areas because of the sociological and historical context in which they emerged.
And let me add this thing. Also, I want to plug President Aristide's book, Philosophical Reflections for Mental Decolonization, in which he deals definitely with the question of mental decolonization and how the views of the Europeans, and which became pretty much accepted even by progressives in the form of what they call the Black Code. And he showed how the Africans challenged the precepts of the Black Code, the inherent racism in the Black Code. And in that book also,
Code noir. I think you should use the other term because it's historical. It's called code noir.
Code Noir, yeah, which was finally repealed, I believe, about 2 or 3 months ago by the French. So it was something that was put out way back in the 1600s or 1700s or so. I'm fuzzy on the date, but it was where it codified that black people are subhumans and being and to be treated as chattel or cattle or what have you. So, and in that book, I want to also uphold our brother, Dr. Ivan van Sertima, who, and that has to do with the name Haiti, because in that book, he mentioned that they came before Columbus, where he talked about how Africans had contact with the indigenous people of the Americas. And President Aristide, in his research on linguistics, found that the term Haiti is also of African origin, and it means do not obey. And that was also a call for the people to not to obey, you know, and during the revolution as well, not to obey the imperialists, not to obey the enslavers. And so there is that collaboration. So there is a lot more to be explored in that, and it did a powerful work. So I want to encourage people to read this book, Philosophical Reflections for Mental Decolonization by President Aristide.
Big thanks, both of you. I'm learning, and I'm sure listeners, viewers, and those streaming online, the land too. And this is what Brother Akko suggested. We're actually doing it, is deconstructing the colonized writing, stories, memories for our own liberation, mind, body, spirit. Big thanks, Brother Pierre, LaBossiere, Brother Akko, Mutota. We're going to take the first break. When we come back, we want to transition into temporary protected status, no longer available for Haitian people in particular since July 2026, and what our responsibilities, duties are to offer solidarity for Haitian people on the island of Haiti and those who are currently living in the United States. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Get a smart start this new school year with deals you don't want to miss. Get a prepaid device starting at just $235. Choose from the TCL 503, Honor Play 10, Samsung A07, Samsung A17, and more. Every prepaid device purchase includes a free starter package with minutes, data, and SMS to get you started. Students and teachers, sign up for a Trio postpaid plan and enjoy 50% off for 3 months. Bundle your Trio plan with a postpaid data plan and get a free MiFi. Start the school year powered up with a postpaid power pack, including a device and your postpaid plan deposit, starting at $275. Plus, new students and teachers that sign up for their postpaid bundle get their first month free. Power up for back to school with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
When I install an AC system, I recommend Ream from Bennett's. Unlike inferior units that drive up electricity costs, restrict yard flow, and wear out quickly, Ream has the right solution for every space. With a wide range of options, I can choose the right Ream system to keep every customer cool, comfortable, and satisfied. Because at Bennett's, quality is saving.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and savings. Guatemala, this time we we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time me name is Pupa. Believe me, come from the Billy City area. 110% Belize and powder it's a no. Tell me about maritime area. Long time ago, agreement by the slave master. Talking about the help on the Belize and dollar because patriots. All people who love them country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. Country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. This time we we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time me name is Pupa. Believe me, come from the Billy City area. 110% Belize and powder it's a no. Tell me about maritime area. Long time ago, agreement by the slave master. Talking about the help on the Belize and dollar because patriots. All people who love them country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. Country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time me name is Pupa. Believe me, come from the Billy City area. 110% Belize and powder it's a no. Tell me about maritime area. Long time ago, agreement by the slave master. Talking about the help on the Belize and dollar because patriots. All people who love them country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. Country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time me name is Pupa. Believe me, come from the Billy City area. 110% Belize and powder it's a no. Tell me about maritime area. Long time ago, agreement from the Billy City area. 110% Belize and powder it's a no. Tell me about maritime area. Long time ago, agreement by the slave master. Talking about the help on the Belize and dollar because patriots. All people who love them country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. Country bad, bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time we have here. Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time me name is Pupa. Believe me, come from the Billy City area. 110% Belize and powder it's a no. Tell me.
With Brother Mutota as co-host and Brother Pierre LaBossiere as our guest. Now, I know I say we may transition into talking about TPS, but during the break, Brother Akon, Brother Pierre made the talk, and there are some things that they want to elaborate on. So, continue on the conversation. What were the points that you want to elaborate on? Because you know what, shall change it up and nothing. Take the mic to no. Talk about the points.
We want to talk about the debt, but there's a point I want to make. I want Brother Pierre's response to it, right? And I want to begin this with a quote by Thomas Sankara, the late great revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso, when he said that imperialism is a bad student. And what he meant historically was that they repeat the same methodologies all the time, as if from 400 years ago up to today, they repeat the same methodologies. And he was so the question I want to pose to Brother Pierre in this context is, one, what is happening today, and take it back to Haiti. One, the from what we understood, the retreat of the Venezuelan process was because people were bribed. Okay, there's a lot of evidence emerging out of radical media that people were bribed in Venezuela in order for US to occupy Venezuela. Then last week again, we saw where the United States tried to bribe an Iranian general in the IRG, see, in order to undermine Iran. And I understand a similar thing happened in Haiti. I'm not sure of all the details, but in reading around you saw it, where apparently there were attempts to by the French to bribe or influence certain leaders to betray the revolution. So that's what I wanted to start with in this period, for you to sort of give us some data and historical perspective on that.
Yes, no, for sure. It happened, and they were successful in a number of situations, in a number of cases. For example, when you read in the Black Jacobin, C.L.R. James, I believe that there is a quote from Leclerc. Leclerc was Napoleon's brother-in-law, and he was the one in charge of the invasion in the French Armada that invaded to get rid of Toussaint Louverture and the black generals, and also to destroy the people's movement and restore slavery. So there was that whole counter revolution by Napoleon. And so one of the things that Leclerc asked him, he said, look, I need ammunition, I need more guns, but most importantly, send me gold. Gold was the term in those days for money. Send me more money. He said, with the right amount of money, I can win back the colony. And one of the things that they were mentioning that in their language, it was, well, we have to maintain the privileges. Basically, today we'll call it bribe. That's what it is. You pay these people off. And they did succeed with a number of generals and a number of the officers who ended up betraying the movement. But the power of the masses overcame these few elements who were ready to betray. And that's what brought success to. And this is why Bookman's prayer statement is so important when he said, reject the image of the white man, you see, and listen to the voice of freedom that sings in your heart. So that's a powerful, and that's what he was dealing with. Because among the leadership during that revolt, there came a point where some of the chiefs of the leaders of the movement had a meeting with some of the French enslavers, the plantation owners, in which a number of them were pretty much going along with the idea of they will get freedoms for themselves and their families, but make sure that all the others would be returned to slavery. And there was a particular meeting where this was being discussed, and then one of the plantation owners did something. I think he pulled his whip. He got so angry, he pulled his whip and started whipping one of the leaders. And then that's what broke up, according to various historical accounts. That's what broke up. That was one of the reasons that broke up that meeting where the deal was going to be signed. And so the deal was off, because then everybody realized that they cannot trust these guys, even when they betrayed their brothers and sisters. And so there was all along the movement, there was a lot of betrayals and different things like that. But then eventually the forces of our people emerged victorious. The unity of the masses overcame those traitors to the movement.
Yeah, and you know, just to continue in that vein, and to quote Thomas Sankara again, the imperialism is a bad student. But one of the things that happened was they kidnapped Toussaint Louverture
Yes.
and took him to France, where he died in a prison.
Right.
And here in 2025, 26, they kidnapped Nicolas Maduro. So here again, imperialism is the same method, okay, of 1700, 1800, is the same method in 2025, 2026, you know?
And Toussaint Louverture had made this very powerful statement. He said, in overthrowing me, you have only cut the trunk of the tree of liberty, but the roots, it will regrow again because the roots are deep, and the roots are deep and very vivacious and very strong. And so President Aristide repeated that statement by Toussaint Louverture when he too was kidnapped on February 29th, 2004, during the coup d'etat. Again, betrayal, and he was kidnapped and flown to the Central African Republic into a French base. And I recommend that people read the book by Randall Robinson, the late Randall Robinson. And the book is An Unbroken Agony. Unbroken Agony. Haiti from revolution to the kidnapping of a president. And he detailed all of that, and I highly recommend it. Because this is a brother who grew up in segregated South in the US, fought during the civil rights movement, and also fought against apartheid in South Africa, and turned his energies towards Haiti and helping to free Haiti from the clutches of that racist imperialist and that construct that is plaguing Haiti today, the masses of Haiti today. So I highly recommend that.
I know, Brother Pierre, you know, I remember looking at there was a cartoon, or I was looking at a few years ago, and the cartoon was addressing the modern traitors. This maybe about 10 years ago I saw it. And what it was a chicken, a Haitian chicken. And it was someone who was saying that they're working from the inside. Because this is one of the traitorous ways, this is one of the methods the traitors use. They are aligned with imperialism, and the governments impose on Haiti by imperialism and say they're working from the inside. So the Haitian graphic artist showed you a chicken, a transparent chicken, with the person inside the chicken belly and saying they're working from the inside. I found it so interesting because it was an appropriate methodology for what has happened. They're inside the belly of the beast. They are working against the people, but telling you that they're supporting the people from the inside. I don't know if you want to.
Yes, I didn't see that cartoon, but we have a
that
number.
cartoon I saw, yeah.
If you have it, send it to me. I'd love to see it. But we have a number of statements. You see, Haitian proverbs are very, very profound in terms of, these are wisdom imparted to us by our foremothers and forefathers. We have one that says, Rat kai kap manje pai kai. That means that the rats of the house are destroying the roof of the house. They are eating the straw of the house, so causing rain to come in. And also, there is another statement that says, Si an dan pate bvan, dehors pate pachete. That means if the inside weren't selling, the outside wouldn't be buying. So all of that is really our foremothers and forefathers' way of transmitting us through proverbs knowledge, to say their lived experience, and to warn us about the future. So that is about what to be aware of and what to look out for. So those wisdoms, those pearls of wisdom, are very, very much part of our culture in Haiti. And we repeat that to each other. We have another one called Rat Mode Soufflé, talking about opportunists, people who talk big, a number of politicians. One of them was caught live on camera. He didn't know that his mic was hot. So he was telling one of his buddies, who was a fellow traitor, and he said, well, I've been serving the United States for 25 years. And the guy tried to stop him and said, look, you are, watch what you are saying, or something to that effect. And he said, what, am I on live? The guy said, well, you call the radio station, what do you expect? And everybody heard it. And that was his admission that he had been, working against the country, and serving the interests of the U.S. So this is, to this day, it's being quoted. So, yeah, that's...
I'd like you to repeat those two quotes again, because there's one I was using a lot to describe Barack Obama. And it's an Ethiopian quote, I think. It says, when the ox came to the forest, the tree said, worry not, Handle is one of us. So Handle and ox, that's how I saw Barack Obama. That's how I saw. So the tree said, worry not, Handle is one of us. So I'd like you to repeat those two quotes. You said the one with the rats eating the house, and the one where if the inside is not selling, the outside can't buy.
Yeah. So the first one is rat kai, the rat of the house, rat kai kap manger pai kai, meaning the rats of the house are eating the straw of the, the straw roof of the house, letting the rain in. And the other one is, what was it again? It slipped my mind, because there is another
inside was telling the outside.
Yes. Yeah. See, en dedans pas te vendre, dehors pas te acheter. So if the inside weren't selling, the outside wouldn't be buying. But there is another one that's very profound too. Again, it's the wisdom through the lived experience of our people. And our people are revolutionaries, so they were transmitting this knowledge so that we don't get confused. And it says, they call some people rat mode soufflé. That means it's a rat, when they are eating, when you're asleep, and a rat is eating, is gnawing at you, biting you and stuff to get some of your flesh. What they do is they apply some anesthesia. They blow on it too, so that you don't feel the pain. And so people are undermining you, but then they are telling you all those beautiful things. We have a number of Haitian politicians who come out and quote Marx and Lenin and talk about we are with the people and this and that, but they are really destroying the commons. They are destroying the people's livelihood, but then they tell you all those beautiful things. So they are eating you up, but yet they are blowing on it to, as Brother Malcolm said, give you some Novocaine as an anesthesia, so you don't feel the pain that they are inflicting upon you.
Big respect and thanks for the words of wisdom from our African foreparents. TPS, what does temporary protected status mean? What does it really mean, Brother Pierre, and how is it impacting the lives of people in the United States and on the island of Haiti?
Yes, this brings us to the current situation, which is connected to what we were talking about. TPS, temporary protected status, that's what it is. It is a law in the U.S. in line with international treaty obligations regarding various countries that provide people who are seeking refuge with the right to seek refuge in other countries. But particularly temporary protected status is a law in the U.S. that allows for people who are from countries or regions where you have civil unrest, wars, natural disasters, to apply for protected status until the situation is stable enough that they can go back home. So under that, after the devastating earthquake that hit Haiti in 2010, a number of people Haitians were provided temporary protected status, which allowed them to remain in the U.S., those who were here as of a particular date, to be in the U.S., legally recognized with work permits and all that, and they could function without being deported back to the situation in Haiti. Well, 2010, that was a natural disaster, the earthquake that killed over 300,000 people. Then we had a number of devastating hurricanes that hit Haiti. So it was one disaster after another. But I want to take it further before that. That was the 2004 coup d'etat against President Aristide, which really dislocated Haitian society. 10,000 people were killed, or if not more, during that coup d'etat. Also, livelihoods of several families completely disrupted. It triggered a number of dislocations, destabilization in the country. The UN brought in cholera in Haiti. The UN assassinations of people was taking place, mass killings in a number of countries. And so it triggered people being forced to flee Haiti, going either to the Dominican Republic, to some of the islands in the Caribbean, and to the US seeking safe refuge. So it wasn't until 2010, after the earthquake, that the US provided the status of providing temporary protected status to Haitians. So I mentioned after that, there was also hurricanes, devastating hurricanes, 2016 that devastated the southern part of Haiti. 2021, a major earthquake, massive earthquake, devastated again the southern peninsula of Haiti. So there was a number of things that took place, and both natural and also man-made. In the past, since we can say 2017, or in particularly 2018, when that the paramilitaries became organized and federated with the support of the United Nations, because it's been 22 years of US UN occupation of Haiti ever since the 2004 coup. And it brought, I mentioned the cholera, which killed over 20,000 people, though the media stays with the number of 10,000.
Brother Pierre,
Yes.
I want to interrupt you on this cholera, because I think
Please.
it's important. I read about the cholera, and they traced that strain of cholera to Bangladeshi soldiers, right, who came with the UN. Is that a fact? Because that's what I understand.
Yes, it was actually the Nepalese contingent of the UN. The disregard of the UN commanders and those in charge for the people of Haiti. How can you allow people? At that time, there was a severe strain of cholera taking place in Nepal. Not only to bring a contingent from Nepal unchecked, but also you had them on a base that was above one of Haiti's biggest rivers, the Artibonite.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so there was one of the streams that led into the Artibonite, and that's where they were dumping.
Defecating,
their feces into that, and it really just went into that river, which was a drinking water source for the people. Yeah, and also used in for rice and rice growing and everything in the Artibonite region. So that was, and instead of the UN taking measures when the first signs started appearing, they were busy putting out things saying they had nothing to do with it and everything, whereby a number of photographs showed that the feces were being dumped there, you see? And so instead of mobilizing their forces to help out and stamp this out right away, they left it and it spread throughout Haiti. And so, it's been the actual numbers of those killed, not only those infected, which was much higher, but those killed, it's much higher than the 10,000 they keep saying. Some people say as many as 20,000 were killed during that because of the lack of, keeping proper numbers, and they wanted to keep the numbers down. So all of that really impacted the economy of the country, it impacted the livelihood of people, it created all kinds of, when the late Haitian attorney Mario Joseph, along with attorney Brian Concannon of the Institute for Justice and Democracy in Haiti, they sued the UN. It was moving forward, and actually in a New York court, that I believe it was in New York, where the decision was that the UN couldn't be sued for something like that. They made promises that they would do work in order to provide clean drinking water for people, but those promises never appeared. So that was one of the things. People throughout the world responded to these various earthquakes, particularly to the 2010 earthquake, with monies that they donated. We never knew exactly how much, but I would say I've heard figures as high as from $9 billion to $13 billion were collected. What happened to the money, nobody knows. The Clinton-Bush Foundation was in charge of it, along with their junior partners from the Haitian government. Nobody ever saw this money. In the meantime, people's lives had been devastated. There was no reconstruction of the country. So I'm giving that as a background as to why Haiti needs to this day that TPS program, not only in the US, but also Haitian refugees throughout the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic, are deserving of protected status, to have a legal, for their presence to be legalized instead of them being hounded, persecuted, as we are seeing in the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, and a number of countries in the Caribbean, Jamaica, where Haitians are being very ill-treated. And so this goes against international law and against morality, period. So that's the situation. Currently, right now, what's happening is that in the US, many Haitians, ever since the end of July, they have lost their legal permits to work in the US. They have lost their legal status in the US, forced into hiding, basically. And people who used to support their relatives who stayed in Haiti because they were working, they could help the situation. Imagine that $13 billion, which could have rebuilt the country and helped the country recover so that people could stay home and work. All that money people never saw it. You see, it was split between the big foundations and also the Haitian elite, but the Haitian elite got a pittance, but they got something. But it never materialized for the Haitian or for the country to recover. And so people are helping their families now. That's not happening anymore. So the situation is going to be much worse for the families who depended on that support from their relatives. So that's the current situation. And in Haiti, people are being, from the US, people are being deported. Many of those whose status have been removed, they were placed now from their legal status has been removed. They are being returned to Haiti. Returned to what? Returned to conditions where right now at present, there is close to 2 million people who are homeless, who've been made homeless, they call them displaced, because of the violence of the paramilitary death squads. And those guys, the media call them gangs. They are not gangs. They are paramilitary death squads. They are carrying out a military operation against the Haitian people, burning their homes, burning their businesses.
Like the jihadists in the Sahel.
Precisely, same thing.
After
same
Thomas Sankara, the imperialism is a bad student. God, sorry to disturb you, but
no, please, yeah. I appreciate that. And so the weapons are coming mostly from the United States. See, according to the UN and other human rights, various figures, but at least 98 to 99% of the guns and the ammunition that are flooding Haiti into the hands of young people who have nothing, who have nothing in their hands. They couldn't afford those. They don't travel to the US. They themselves show off those weapons. They exhibit them, and they say, look, we can't afford that. Somebody brings it to us and and told us to burn down houses. And there have been videos of many of them as they are burning houses. They say, just like the white man wants it. That's their quote, Jean Blanc Mandela, just like the white man has asked us to do. And that's what they are doing. You see? So Haiti now is in a situation. So when people are sent back to Haiti, where are they going? Many of the people are translated for a number of people who were either talking to their attorneys, explaining what their conditions were. They said that their homes were destroyed. Their family members were burned alive. Their sisters were gang raped and killed. Many people have been kidnapped. Just to give you some figures, I mentioned close to 2 million people already displaced. underground in Haiti. We've had just the last year over 5,500 people killed in Haiti. The kidnappings have last year about close to 1,600 kidnapping. No, those are figures that are reported officially. The UN reported that during the first 6 months of 2026, close to just about 5,500 women. Now, these are conservative figures. These are people who do report these. Some people do not report them. 5,500 women were raped, suffered violence, sexual violence, or gender violence. 2/3 of them were actually gang raped by those paramilitary death squads. The number of kidnapped victims is astronomical. When someone is kidnapped in Haiti, the families really sell everything they have, homes, cars, all their belongings, whatever, and then they get into debt in order to secure a release for their loved ones. That really puts families totally under, it pauperizes them, it impoverishes them totally and completely. And I've seen so many people who've been made homeless, who used to have their businesses, who were self-reliant, self-sufficient, and now they have nothing, and they are not even able to function.
I want to interject here.
1 second. We're way past break time, like 6 minutes past break time.
Okay.
But the storytelling was so rich, I didn't want to stop. But just stick up in there, brother Pierre and brother Akka. We'll be right back after our last break for the morning.
All right, okay. All right.
Have a vision? We've got what you need. From idea to install, Brothers Habet. All your building needs under one roof.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible, para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares, people who listen, people who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
It was rainy, muddy, playing in a whole heap of mud.
We actually started working out of an apartment with about 6 of us.
It was only 9 of us.
About 15 of us, not sure where we were heading.
I came from Cancun, Mexico for an interview and I didn't go back.
First time working a big girl job.
And if you didn't know, you had to figure it out. I didn't know anything about plumbing, so I had to study YouTube.
We won the bid.
I definitely have to ask your boss to give you a raise.
I plan on retiring here.
8:39 in the night, I'm still picking up the phone and each layer matters, guys.
I want to see or hear people say that Design Depot is a family.
Design Depot to me is like a family.
And we all combine to make this one beautiful Sunday dinner. I don't know who might be the salad, but
1, 2, 3.
Never stop.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Nobody do it to no Guatemala. This time me name is Pupa. Belize me come from the Belize City area. 110% Belize and proud of it. Don't tell me about maritime area. Long time ago agreement by the slave master. Talking about the head on the Belize and dollar because patriots. All people who love them country bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. Them country bad love them homeland. Will never give it up to another nation. This is the we we the fear.
Where we make sense of the news, and I tell you, during the break could be so rich. We had a good laughing session just now because as I'm going to tell Ali more brown, right? Because I'm up on the waters Thursday and Friday to do some work. And when I'm going to tell Brother Akko about it, Brother Akko said, "Did you have a life jacket on?" I'm like, "No, Brother Akko." So it hold me accountable. Because I'm still not saying I will put the life jacket on every time I get on boat. I tell them I want to make sure I get a life jacket, put it next to me and say they hold me accountable. But anyway, so we have as our guest today, Brother Pierre LaBossiere. Haitian activist and co-founder of Haiti Action Committee. When I go to Haiti Action Committee, they're an incredible source for finding out consistently what has happened in the past and what happened currently with people at Haiti and in the United States. And we have Brother Mutota. He is the co-host, revolutionary from Trinidad and Tobago since January 2025. But I know Brother Ako and Brother Pierre I had to interrupt one serious conversation just now, and I have to just note that they definitely want to talk about the reparations where Haitian people had to pay to the French colonizers. But Brother Pierre, I don't remember if you remember where you were when I had to interrupt your Brother Akka. Do you remember what Brother Pierre was talking about when I interrupted him just now?
I think he was more or less at the end. I was going to ask him a question which would have continued in the same trajectory of their organization, which is about the Clinton Foundation and the role it played, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, the role they played in undermining Haitian agriculture in terms of rice. Haiti was self-sufficient in rice. And the Clinton came in there and instituted policies that undermine Haitian agricultural production in order for for Clinton to sell them Arkansas rice. So I wanted Pierre to, and it's just one of the things of imperialism again. But you made a point about the Haiti Action Committee, and I want to just make a point on that this is a 30-year-old organization, one of the most credible organizations. You have a lot of spokespersons from Haiti, who, some of them very arrogant. There was one I wrote, didn't even respond, because they believe like, I guess they're superior to everybody else, so they don't have to respond to certain people who they don't agree with ideologically. So it is important to associate with organizations like the Haiti Action Committee. I wanted to make that point. But I got numbers of recommendations from various people in the struggle who recommended that organization. That's how I got in touch with Brother Pierre a few years ago. So the Haiti Action is important that you go to their website and follow what they do.
Okay? And let it be known. It's through Brother Pierre that I met Brother Ako. That's who made the introduction. Because in struggle work, you can't just roll up on people. People have to vet you and then say, yeah, you can make this link. And I was like, Brother Pierre, I don't know Brother Ako, Brother Pierre says, Sister YaYa, if I tell her the man good, the man good. And that's how I met Brother Ako. Because they were organizing through Caribbean Dialogue and Haiti Action Committee to have these Zoom meetings to bring awareness to our people about the suffering of our Haitian people. Brother Pierre, the mic is yours.
Yes. Brother Ako, thank you. Sister YaYa, thank you. If people want to get in touch with us and for information about what's going on in Haiti, HaitiSolidarity.net is our website, HaitiSolidarity.net, our website. We also have a sister organization which provides assistance and direct support for people in Haiti who are rebuilding their communities that have been devastated, not only by the earthquakes and various natural disasters, but also in the current situation. Communities that are being devastated, people are in need, so we provide support for people as much as we can. And that's the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund. Haiti Emergency Relief Fund. HaitiEmergencyRelief.org is our website. And so this is part of our people's continued resistance to rebuild the country, even though the country is being systematically destroyed by these paramilitary forces, which Brother Ako very well put is like the jihadists in Africa. And so that's what they are. That's who they are. And they are being financed, armed, equipped by a small minority of a ruling elite in Haiti that is very racist, even though among them are black people, but self-hatred is very much a part of the colonialist war, neo-colonial war against the people of Haiti. Most of the weapons are coming in from the US, from South Florida, as an example, and reaching into Haiti. Many of these members of this elite, they have private ports, they control the ports, and you have a government that is a puppet government, a neo-liberal government that is put in power by the US mostly, France, Canada, what we call they call it the core group of nations that have been the core group of nations and international agencies that have been ruling Haiti since the coup d'etat against President Aristide in 2004. And so they have driven Haiti to the point of really near extinction right now in terms of the absence of any kind of state institution, systematically dismantling this country. And so we can put a stop to it. The Haitian people are determined to put a stop to it. But it's going to be a long struggle, and we need the solidarity of people throughout the Caribbean, people throughout the world to help us in this struggle, because these are coming at us from an international coalition of, as Bob Marley would say, international pirates. And what they are trying to get out of Haiti is that this is being conducted, chasing away peasants from their land, destroying their crops, implementing the terror campaign, gang raping women. Also in Haiti right now, what's going on is there are a number of disappearances. There is a number of people being disappeared because the organ trafficking is a big thing. Not only human trafficking in terms of sex trafficking of young women, but also organ trafficking. There have been a number of disappearances of young people. Later on, their bodies are recovered completely devoid of their internal organs. So that means a level of sophistication, because people cannot just go and hack somebody and take their organs. It means that there are people who are skilled, people in the medical profession who know what to do in taking these organs. It's not me saying it. The former, one of the presidential council members denounced it at the UN, and he raised that issue. And it has been raised also by a number of human rights organizations as well. So I know it's quite a number of things I'm bringing out to people, but this needs to be said. People need to understand, when you see a brother or sister fleeing Haiti, coming to your countries, throughout the Caribbean and in the US, something has driven them out. There is a terror campaign that is driving them out. And this is what's happening. In terms of the police in Haiti, and I want to get this in, the police, you have good members of the police, good policemen and women. However, the police is notorious for having been at the organizing of many of those so-called gangs. You see, these are trained members of the people, highly trained by the US, France, and Canada, who since the coup d'etat of 2004 have been training the Haitian police. And many of them, this guy, Barbecue Cherizier, Jimmy Cherizier, very well trained. Another guy who's been part of the drug trade and what have you in Haiti, according to various reports, media reports. Dimitri Hérard, he was the head of the Presidential Guard. You have another one, Guy Philippe, who was tried in the US and convicted for drug running and all of that. You have a number of other policemen and women who have been part of this so-called gang network, which is better said to be a paramilitary death squads. They are the ones who created those and have been providing the training. And with the monies from that ruling elite and people, multinationals involved, they are getting tons of deadly weapons that they are using against the population.
Let me ask you a question, Brother Pierre. Was Guy Philippe tried and convicted in the US and then released back to didn't get a pardon? I know one of the persons who was charged, I think they cut short their sentence and repatriated them back to Haiti.
Yes, we are talking about the same man. No, he didn't get a pardon. It was part of a plea deal.
A plea, right? Okay.
Yeah, and he served 6 years in prison in the US. And now
then he was sent back to Haiti.
Yeah, he was sent back. And so, but even after he was sent back, the former ambassador to Haiti was on NBC News, I believe it was, and saying what an articulate man, that he should be part of the warning of Haiti and all of that stuff. And I have the tape. This was an incredible statement by this woman in 2024 when she made that statement. It's and also praising Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier as people who should have some say in the warning of Haiti. So you see, we are dealing with it's not me making it up or anybody saying it. It's out of their own mouths. And also, people have to keep in mind that the office of Antonio Guterres, who at the time of the UN, I believe that was in 2020, they were praising the federation at that time of the so-called gangs. They had federated into calling themselves G9. This woman who was their representative was praising it as a good thing and praising them.
But you know, one of the things this is why I said earlier that people must look at the Haiti Action Committee. There's a very prominent academic who speaks a lot about Haiti on YouTube and so on. And I remember hearing that person, they were asked a question about Jimmy Barbecue Chairs here. And the person said, well, he may be a revolutionary. So everybody knew, it's like the jihadists. Everybody knew this man is a gangster serving in the, and this is supposedly a credible Haitian academic who, you know, created the ambiguity around the role that barbecue was played. And the person said to the question, well, he may be a revolutionary. Everybody know he wasn't any revolutionary. You know, so I want to just support, yeah.
No, definitely. And you are correct. And that's why we, with the Haiti Action Committee and Haiti Emergency Relief Fund, we deal directly with the grassroots, with the people who are suffering who are the receiving end of this campaign of terror. We get their stories, we hear from them, and they are the ones who are the future towards rebuilding the country. They have never given up. As much as they burn down their schools, they try to rebuild them. They've been burning down hospitals in Haiti. So hospitals, schools, courthouses, you see, that's another plan that part of the plan is also, I remember years ago some international expert was saying that, Haiti doesn't have a land tenure system, or how they were putting it, like there is no documentation of land ownership, which I knew was nonsense because my grandfather was a surveyor. And I've seen the deeds of properties, they were elaborately put together, so people have deeds. But what these guys have been doing, first thing they do when they come to a place is to burn down the court records, the records of deeds of property and things like that. When they attack a neighborhood and they burn down the houses, all the records disappear because we are talking about paper records. Haiti doesn't have a computer-based system that keeps all these things. Then they can claim that the land pretty much has no ownership, you see? And since that expert has been putting that out there, so then it's like it's a no man's land. And so they can take whatever. Because the land of Haiti is rich in petroleum, in copper, in iridium, uranium, marble, quite a few things. And so they want to take that to benefit multinational corporations and not compensate the people who are the rightful owners of the land. So this is a conspiracy to destroy the land, pretty much what you were describing earlier in terms of neo-colonialism. What they did to our foremothers and forefathers in Africa, steal the land, drive them out, and then claim it and become rich off of
it. Brother Pierre, somebody texted and asked if we could share the cartoon that Brother Akko had mentioned, and I believe I found it.
I have to find it.
I just found it as well. Okay, so it's 11:57. So let me go ahead and ask you all for your final thoughts. If there's anything that you'd like to share, Brother Pierre, that I didn't ask you, or Brother Akko, these are your last few minutes of this morning's program.
All I want to state is, based on what Brother Pierre is saying, about what they're doing with the land deeds, the records, in other words, to create confusion. Again, I am constantly referring to Thomas Sankara, imperialism is a bad student. When they came to the colonizers came, they instituted something called terra nullius, a Latin phrase meaning nobody's land. And that is how they occupied lands. So they declared terra nullius, nobody is there, even though people are there. And so land is always the basis of a lot of these things because land is the repository of resources and so on. So history repeats itself, as Marx said, first as tragedy, the second time as farce. So we are now witnessing a repeat of history, which is farcical because it was done before. It's not original. That would be my final comment.
And one thing Brother Akko had reminded me during the break was about the ransom that Haiti was forced to pay France. So Haiti was forced to pay after the 25 years of independence, a ransom for our independence, for the French to agree to leave us alone and not invade us again and reduce the population to slavery. Haiti was forced to pay the equivalent of what President Aristide in 2003 deemed to be $21.7 billion. At the time, he was calculating it to the penny. He had calculated it to the penny what the French had forced Haiti to pay. And so this money, which the New York Times wrote 4 or 5 series of articles about, called the ransom, states very clearly when President Aristide was in power, he demanded that the French, he was the first ever Haitian president to call it what it is and demand that they return this money to Haiti, because this was money that they stole, that they extracted from the Haitian people. And he had the bill, and he was serious about taking them to the World Court to have them restore the money. This is one of the main reasons for the coup d'etat of 2004, for the French to participate in the coup d'etat of 2004. Also, the fact that the Haitian economy was being restructured to get more of the people's involvement in the running of their economy, moving them from marginalized status, being included into the running of their country and the decision making. Monies were being invested in schools, in hospitals, what the people needed. And so that was one of the reasons for the coup d'etat also. So I wanted to bring that up. This struggle continues. The Haitians are determined that this money should be coming back to Haiti.
Yeah, they said that was the main reason why Aristide was overthrown. From the time he calculated that reparations from Haiti, that was the principal thing that forced them to move against it.
Precisely.
Big respect, Brother Pierre. I'd buy some time so Harlan could get that cartoon character up. Brother Pierre, can you mention the names of the 2 books again that you're recommending that we read by Brother Philip Randolph and Brother President Aristide, please?
Yes. President Aristide, the book is Philosophical Reflections for Mental Decolonization. Philosophical Reflections for Mental Decolonization. And the book by Randall Robinson, highly recommend that as well, is Unbroken Agony. Unbroken Agony, meaning an agony that doesn't stop, an unbroken agony. Haiti, from revolution to the kidnapping of a president. I highly recommend that, those 2 books.
Big thanks, Brother Pierre. So we were able to find that cartoon caricature that Brother Akko mentioned, and it is profound. Harlan, bring it up again, please, because I want to like eat up people's mind.
Working from the inside.
Working from the inside. And the truth is, Brother Akko, it is happening in our homes, in our communities, within our religious spaces, within government in particular. Traitors. And it's up to us to learn from, and this is really the last thing I want to say, and then we're going. Brother Pierre, bear with us. Please tell within 3 Haitian proverbs again before you go, because they were profound. And I appreciate Brother Akko asking you to repeat it. Repeat it one more time before you go.
Rat kai kap manje pai kai. That means the rats of the house are eating the roof, the straw roof of the house, creating leaks. The other one is rat morde soufflé. The rats who are eating your flesh, but they are making you feel as if making sure you don't feel the pain they are blowing on it. So morde means to bite, soufflé means to blow. So they are eating you up and then, putting anesthesia on it. And the third one was oh boy, I keep
If
forgetting.
the outside isn't selling,
Yes. See, on dans pate vendre, dehors pate acheter. If the inside weren't selling, the outside would not be buying.
I love it. Give thanks to African parents for their wisdom. And it's so important for us to remember it.
The inside wasn't selling, the outside wouldn't be buying.
Right. I didn't get a chance because we're running out of time. But before the show started, Brother Akko and Brother Pierre were talking about, and Brother Akko talk about it regularly, the importance of words. And so they were talking about the French word, because there are a number of French words being used in Trinidad. And one of them, is caiman. And so the alligator, there's a caiman alligator in Trinidad. Look at, I got 1 minute to tell the story. Quickly, Brother Akko, frame it and how it bring awareness to the connection between us as African people with language.
There's a lot of Creole words in Trinidadian language, and we have a alligator. Actually, two types of alligator, but the smaller one is called we call it the caiman, But there's a lot of connection. And I was saying what a lot of the older people used to say about bonje, right? Which was, if they hit their foot or something happens, say bonje, which was a good God or good Lord, So that connection in terms of language exists, And
that was in Bookman's prayer.
Yeah, we still say, up to today, people still say it in Trinidad. So you may have someone say something and they will say, this thing too bad, but what they really mean is yes, but we, so that exists still. Yeah. Even today, people still say it.
Give thanks, Brother Pierre is fluent in Haitian Creole to be able to speak it and make the connection with us. I know there are a lot of takeaways today, but definitely the fact that the word Haiti has been traced to African origin. And it means, what it mean? Not follow the order?
It means
what does it mean, Brother Pierre?
Do not obey.
Do not obey. So no, I get tired of me right now. The Haiti, do not obey. Do not obey. That's the battle call. Do not obey. And really that has a lot to do with our own, like Brother Akko would say, Brother Pierre would say, we're deconstructing the stories that were told to us, and that are not the only story. And we have to learn our stories and still adhere to them. And African proverbs are one of the ways these stories get passed to us. So big thanks, Brother Pierre, LaBossiere, the Haitian activist and co-founder of Haiti Action Committee, on go to our website, and Brother Akko Mutota, co-host of Sunday Review, revolutionary from Trinidad and Tobago. Our security guard is Brother Shane Flowers. And then here at XTV, we have Brother Harlan Wagner. Downstairs in Creme Radio, we have Larry Guerrero, known as Larry G. The show will repeat at 5:30 today here at XTV. You could go at your convenience to XTV Belize on Facebook and YouTube and listen to this reasoning at any time. Share the link. Is absolute. This is the part of deconstruction. These conversations that we have, and only organize people and save the people. So we have to individually choose to learn, relearn, share, and listen. And one of the wise lessons Brother Akko shared with one of them earlier this month is to be kind and patient with each other as we go through the deconstruction of ourselves and others. So until next Sunday, Brother Pierre, Brother Akko, only organize people and save the people. Big thanks.
Thank you so much.
Area 110% Belize and proud of it. Don't tell me about maritime area. Long time ago agreement by the slave master, talking about the head and the Belize and dollar, because patriots, all people who love them country bad love them homeland, will never give it up to another nation. Them country bad love them homeland, will never give it up to another nation. This is the we we the fear. Nobody give it to no Guatemala. Follow me now. This is the we the fear. Nobody give it to no Guatemala. This